Well, what an end to the season. Rivers seem to have been super high for the past, feels like months actually, but I always take a few days off at the end of the season, so I was excited about getting into some chub, and I was looking at, my wife said I was doom scrolling on the river levels, and every day I was checking them, and I could see around Oxford where I was normally fishing was all pushing through so hard. Took an executive decision, had a look at the levels up in Yorkshire and jumped in the car Friday morning, 3-hour drive up. Got to the river looked nice. And I thought, wow, a river that's not flooded. So walked all the way up to the top of my runner river and set up. And after about 10 minutes, had a really nice chub, about £5.4. And I was just using a bit of crust, just working it down the river, changing the weight here and there like I normally do between swan shots, feeder, maybe a little ounce of, ½ ounce of lead. And then just kept working my way down the river, picked up a few more fish, again another one about 5.11, which was a really nice one. But then in the evening I'd settled into my swim to get ready by my bed chair, and I kept missing these bites, kept missing them. And I was getting really frustrated. It got dark and the bite stopped, so went and hit the hay, didn't bother fishing through the night. And I thought in the morning I'll switch baits and I'll go to my cheese paste. Now my cheese paste, it's not a special recipe, but I got married in June and our cake was a cake of cheese, a cheesecake. And there was a big wheel of Stilton at the bottom, and I had my eye on it thinking that'd be great for chub, and joked about it. Emma wasn't like joking about it, she was quite serious about it. And I was like, I'd love some of that for chub fishing. And after the wedding, there was still a big chunk left, so I commandeered it, blitzed it up and stored it in the freezer. And here it is, the wedding cake paste. Oh, lovely. Going back in the freezer now for next year. And I added a bit of milk powder, a bit of garlic to it, and got up early that morning, about 6:15. Moulded some on a big size 4 hook. Just flicked out, let it bump along, let it settle. And after about probably 15-20 minutes this time, which is longer, I'm quite impatient with chub, longer than normal. And the rod went tip, tip, pulled round slow. And I thought, is that something just washed onto the line? Hit it, and the rod just heaved round. And every guy and girl that fishes for chub knows the feeling of a big chub. It was thumping, it was staying deep. And I thought, oh, it's a good one, you know, it's another 5+. And it came to the net, popped the net under it, thought, yeah, good looking fish. And then it was only when I lifted the net, I was like, wow, it's a beast. I weighed it, came in at 7.1. Oh my word. It's another absolute beast. It's coming on the scales at 7.1, so I'm going to be re-weighing it, because that is just a huge fish. I've had a plastic bag that I've used for years, like a big one, and I've got to weigh it in that as well, see what it comes up again, 7.1. And I'm like, oh. Weighed the bag on its own, 1.5 ounces. It's like, really? Is it really that much? And sure enough, yeah, £6.15. We do get obsessed by the old pounds and ounces. So a really nice end to the season. Had another nice fish on the wedding cake down on the Thames, a £6.3, which looks bigger than the Yorkshire fish, which is strange, but just the build of the fish. But yeah, what a fish, and caught on my wedding cake, which is really nice.